Good evening. We're having this meeting, so we are trying to get one to join in on the call. So I'm trying to reach out to Nancy's to join on the class. All right, good evening, everyone. Coming over here, good evening. Please, can we have someone confirm that you can hear me?
Good evening, William.
I can hear you, but it's
All right.
breaking.
Okay, sorry about that. My network isn't so stable this evening, but hopefully it's going to hold up. So good evening once again, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. I am happy to have all of you in today's session. We'll be starting off shortly. Welcome to class. We expect more mentees on the call, so please, I would like to kindly ask for the mentees that are already in call or on the call rather to reach out to other co-mentees to join in so that we can have a full session and we can properly have a full class. So welcome to week 6 of the JIIPCC did I say week 6? Week 5 of the JIIPCC Mentorship and Internship program. We have come such a long way starting from week 1, and it's incredible that we have gone through 6 weeks already. So not to waste any of our time, our what we'll be doing today is an arbitration simulation. Just like we had mediation simulation in the last class, we'll be having an arbitration simulation, and I really hope that all members, all participants are ready for their simulation. We'll be starting as soon as possible, but just kindly to reintroduce our mentors. It's the same mentors that we've had over the course of the last 5 weeks. Those are the same mentors we have in this class. The first of which is Mr. Miachan Nawan. He'll be one of our mentors for today. The second being Miss Fry Awasu. She will be our second mentor for today. And last but not least, for our mentors for today is Miss Omotayo Blessing. Right, so those are our mentors for today's class. Miss Omotayo is already on call, so it's always exciting for us. It's always exciting when we have our mentors joining. We get to hear from their vast experience and the knowledge they have to share with us in class. So not to waste any further time, we would be starting. We'll be starting right about now. So just the way we had in the last, just like the way we had in the last session, we'll be taking the simulation first, and then we'll be having the mentors come give feedback to the simulation made by the mentors. So, okay, I can see we have members of the fund already on the call. So please, if you guys are ready, we are ready to take your simulation first. We already have a mentor on the call, so we'll be getting her feedback and then subsequently taking questions, having our picture time and calling it a day. All right, so please, group one members, please, can you indicate yourself and the roles you guys will be playing?
Good evening, everyone. I'm the coordinator for today's simulation. Currently, we're not complete on the call right now.
Okay, so is it possible to reach out to the remaining participants for the call for the simulation? Who else is there? How many participants do you have? Or are you guys consulting?
Just one person is here from what I can see.
Just one person.
Yes.
Okay. So please, if it's possible, um let's try and have reminders sent to our groups just to notify that we are starting the session already, or to those participants that we know are supposed to participate in the simulation. We are supposed to be all complete.
No problem. I'll reach out to them right now. Thank you.
All right, so please can we just kindly try to do that in the next 5 minutes so that we can get to start? And if okay, so please, are we now complete?
Please, we're still not complete. From what I can see, yes, just one member from group one. And we're supposed to be 5.
All right, I can see we have a few others from group one, like Esther and I think,
Just
okay,
Esther is the only person.
okay, okay. So please, group two, why don't we start with group two? Group two, do we have any member from group two in the class?
Hello, Williams.
Yes, hello, I'm with you.
Okay. I have tried reaching out to other members, but nobody is responding.
All right. So, um, I expected that we would have had better coordination so far um for the for the class for today, and we did not really have any person reach out saying that they will not be able to or they will not be available for class per se. So I am quite surprised that the group or we haven't been or we are not altogether ready for today's session per se. Um, and we don't really have any response from group two as well. So please, I would want to just kindly talk to us within the next few minutes. And I don't even know what we are going to do right now because we were supposed to take the simulation and then we would go ahead and commence the session. But seeing that we are not complete to take the simulation, we may just hand over to the mentors and then maybe they can direct us on our next phase of action in class today. So So please, this simulation generally was designed to better just help us, equip us to better have an ingrained understanding of, how an arbitration situation is supposed to go. And I know we have quite a few of us who have put in the effort and time to actually participate and get ready for the class. But, I expected that the whole team itself should have been betterly prepared. So what we're going to do, like I said, that we're going to hand over to the mentors. And just for a little discourse further on arbitration, um, like I said, we're supposed to have three mentors for today, but I think we currently have two of them on call. That's Mr. Nyacham and Miss Blessing. So what we'll be doing is that we'll be taking a little discourse on arbitration, and then hopefully as time goes on, we'll be able to get others to join in for the call so that we can have our simulation. And if that's fine by us, please, I would like to hand over to Mr. Nyacham if he has any discourse for us on arbitration, and then to Ms. Omotayo while we try to get the class to be completed for us to have our simulation. So, Mr. Nyacham, thank you so much for joining. We are happy to have you in class. Mr. Nyacham, are you with us, sir?
Yeah, so why were they not ready for the session? Do you have any difficulty? Or what was the issue? Hello?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I'm the coordinator for today's simulation for Group 1.
Okay.
Okay, presently for my group, it's supposed to be 5-man simulation, but only 2 persons, myself and another member, is online. But nevertheless, I had reached out to my group members right from when the topic and the whole simulation topic was presented to us to work on, and I reached out to everyone else. Only the member online presently reached out to me and was cooperative. The rest didn't show any interest.
Okay, who is speaking, please?
My name is Amanda, sir.
Amanda. Okay. That's group 1. What about
Yes,
group
sir.
2? You are in group 1, right?
Yes, I am. I'm in group 1.
What about group 2?
Do we have any members from Group 2 on the call?
Group 2?
Do we have any members from Group 2 on the call? Please, can you identify yourself?
Do you have group 2?
Good evening,
What
sir.
was the
Yes.
issue with you?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, I'm a member of Group 2 and Regina is here as well. We are both members of Group 2 and it's similar in our group. I think not just for this week, from week 1. Like you write on the group and then nobody responds and then you just have to do things by yourself. And then for arbitration, Regina was is the coordinator and she reached out to people. I think one person has left to another course, and then the rest, I don't know if they are busy with exams, but they don't just speak on the group, basically.
How many are you? How many are the functional people on the group? Hello? Hello?
Okay, so you mean generally for the ADR group
In
2?
your own group, yes, in your own group.
We're about 7.
And only how many are active?
Myself and Regina, there's one Jida boy that speaks sometimes, but yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, I must say that I appreciate those of you who are committed to the course. It is actually interesting to see people who have dedicated their time and to learn. That's why some of us are also here and available to see as much as possible how we want to, how we may be of assistance to you. So, for those who have been, so for those of you who are available, are ready to learn, we will do our best to ensure that you learn. So it's actually somehow disheartening to discover that after creating time for a session like this, which we try as much as possible, notwithstanding our busy schedule, to ensure that we are available to take the class. Like me, for once, I'm always around in all the sessions to ensure that mentees are able to get the best and are attended to. But it is so unfortunate that we'll see that some are not. It is unfortunate to see that some, though they sign up for the course, are not available for the training, for the rehearsals, for the discussions that will lead to the eventual presentation. We try as much as possible to let you know that this is something that you can do to add value to yourself. And then if you are doing, I believe that whatsoever is worth doing well. So if you put your heart to something, ensure that you do it, get committed to doing it until the end. So for those who have been committed thus far, I believe that your effort will not go in vain. As you know, um, this this mentorship is brought to you by the collaboration of JIIPCC and Settlement House Area Training Institute. And Settlement House Training Institute is a certification institute for ADR. So we train and certify in mediation and arbitration, negotiation, among others. So for those of you who are really interested and have shown commitment, we would love to see that you actually take a step further to get trained and certified as either mediators or arbitrators. And this mentorship actually is one of the easy routes for you to become a mediator and arbitrator, depending on which area or aspect you want to specialize. Because you see, presently, training in India, they're very expensive. If you are conversant, I think there was someone who was trained with ICMC. I don't know whether it's Amanda or somebody. Somebody mentioned something like that the other time. Who was that? Is it Amanda?
Yes, sir, it was me.
Okay, so I don't know whether you took the training while you were a student and took the student slot, or you paid for the full-fledged training. Which one did you take?
I paid for the full-fledged training.
Okay. So you see that I know that the training for ICMC has had then some from last year, because I know they've increased the training fee to about 350,000 naira for the basic training now. But it used to be around 250 thereabout, you know, 250, 300, depending on which one you are going for. But for those who are students, sometimes they have a kind of concession for them to pay a certain amount, less that training, the main. So you see, if you are taking this mentorship training and then you are done and you want to develop interest, what we do is that we try to see how we can get a convenient platform and a soft landing for those who want to take this training. We believe that it is for you to have indicated interest and take the mentorship is actually an indication of the fact that you are actually uh, committed, or you are actually interested in pursuing a course in ADR. That is why we are very, very excited to give you our time and our attention. So, I would want to encourage all of you who have taken time. At the inception, we had a lot of people, but now we just have barely few. I know we are not less than 10. So, and I want to say that for those of you who want to take up the certification training, please don't hesitate to indicate properly with your name so that we can discuss on how we can go about it. I think that's the least we can do, but please don't be discouraged. I know that sometimes when others are not available, it may have a way of crippling uh, the it may have a way of crippling or discouraging others. So I don't know for today. I don't know if, since we have about two persons from group one and two persons from group two. Is that correct?
We are just two persons from group one, sir.
Yes,
Two persons. And we have two persons too from group uh, two, right? They are present here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, all right. Okay. So, is it possible for us to? I think it's the same scenario we are using, isn't it, for the arbitration?
yes, it is.
Yeah. So, and your preparation for the both groups were in respect of the same subject matter. So is it possible for us to take the two, maybe one group one will serve for one client? That is one of the, maybe the applicant, Well, the other one serves as the maybe we have one party and then a council. Did you make arrangement to have a council?
Yes, I did in my group.
Okay, you did. What of the other group? You plan to have a council?
Yes, sir, we did.
Okay, so is it possible for us to now have we can just have group one and two pick sites and then see if we can do a little presentation no matter how it, and then we can now pick it from there. So what do you think? What do we think?
Okay, so for group one, we already had the working material. So I don't know how group two members will be able to meet up with what we have.
Okay, Amanda.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what do you suggest we do? Okay, why is in group two? Please, if you are in group one, can you just put one on the chat box? One. If you are in group two, indicate with two. Let us know who and who is. Okay. I move for Perpetua is in group two. Group two. Perpetua is in group two. Who else we have here? Okay. Um. Okay. Okay. Hawa is in group two. Amanda is group one. Perpetua is group two. Regina group two. So we have three people from group two. Is that correct?
Sir, sorry, please. I'm also in group one. I've been trying to locate where the chat box is, and I can't find it right now. That's why it's trying to respond.
Oh, I see. Okay, so we have two people in group two and one person in group um wait, one person in no, two people in group one and three persons in group. Let me see. Okay, Regina, you join in two devices. Okay. Okay, so what do you suggest we do? We have five persons present. So the arbitration is You know, you have the parties which are supposed to be true, and then you have the representatives. That's the parties represent. They are also the representative of the company or the person concerned. You now have one counsel and then an arbitrator. Is that okay? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now, okay, maybe what we will do, maybe we can just have a breakdown of the processes and stages of having a trial. Then, uh, have you ask some questions where necessary, and then maybe, Dennis,
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. Sorry, my network has been a little bit bad. I have not been
okay,
hearing fully what's
okay,
been
so
going
but
on.
you have the opportunity of having them come back next week.
Sorry, you said, sir.
Do you have opportunity of the party, the mentees coming back to do a presentation next week?
We can make an arrangement for that, sir.
No?
Hello, sir. I said we can make an arrangement for that.
Okay, so let's confirm from the mentees. Will you be able to come back next week so that we can take the last session and the presentation with the practical?
Okay, so since we have in number, if the remaining three from group two are willing to meet with myself and member from group 1 year, we'll be able to put the presentation next week.
Okay, so do we all agree to now merge into one group so that we can have a proper uh, preparation and then eventual presentation?
Sir, Esther speaking from group one. I most likely might be in school. We're resuming last next week, and I don't know what the schedule is going to be like. So I would say I'm not so sure if I'll be available.
You are resuming what?
Law school.
Okay, you are resuming. When?
We asked to resume on Monday, sir.
You resume on Monday. Okay. Which campus are you?
We've not been posted, sir.
Pardon?
We've not been posted, sir.
You have not been posted yet.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you are expecting your posting to be out.
Yes, between now and Friday.
Okay, resume on Monday. Well, I know that you have resumption date, but is that I don't think anyway, when you resume on Monday, assuming you resume on Monday, basically you'll be doing registration for that week. Esther, are you with me?
Yes, sir. I'm with you, sir.
Yes, if you resume on Monday, assuming you resume on Monday, uh, registration will be open for students. You know, you do registration. I don't know the number of persons that may be posted to a particular campus, so to say. So, but then you commence registration, and even if it were lectures, your lectures usually is depending on the campus you go to anyway. We have campuses who finish their lectures maybe 1, 2, thereabout. So if you are sent to Lagos campus, sometimes they can stay up to 4 o'clock in class. So since it's something that you are prepared for initially, and this one is just for you to put your heads together so that you will know who is going to be assigned what responsibility. If you are going to be serving as a party or as a counsel to a party, that is what you are going to be doing so that you now know how to harmonize your arrangements since you have already prepared initially. So it's not something that will require you to do a rigorous kind of uh, preparation. So I'm sharing with you because I'm trying to see how you can have an open mind. See that this meeting is by 6 o'clock. So we can also be hoping and trusting that your 6 o'clock, whether you resume or yet to resume, you know, you have you can create a little 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, or at best 2 hours from 6 o'clock to conclude the mentorship. I don't know if that will be visible.
Probably, sir. It's just that I don't know where. First of all, I don't know where I'll be posted. Secondly, I don't know what the schedule then will be like. If maybe that day I'll be doing my registration or something. I don't know how it's going to be. So if by Tuesday I'm sure, I will also communicate with my with the coordinator for my group.
And so that's the thing. What I want you to do is you just do your preparation, right? Do your preparation from now. Today is Wednesday. You have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Uh, you know, you can conclude your arrangement and preparation. I am sharing with you uh, from experience that for the fact that you resume on Monday, it may not necessarily mean that your classes will commence on Monday. And even if classes commence, uh, you don't stay in class from morning to 6 o'clock. You get. So what I'm saying is that it's for you to prepare your mind to see that, oh, I'm going to give 1 hour 30 minutes to complete uh, what I'm going to do. By the way, you have only one group that will be presenting since the others are not available. So if you have one group that will present, it means that the time for the other group to do the practical will be off. I don't know if you get.
Yes, I understand you, sir.
Yeah, so I will be hoping that you will create the time to see how we can finish up the presentation. That's my hope. I pray that you are able to do.
Okay, sir, can I speak?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is Amanda. I have reached out to the remaining 3 members of Group 2, and they are willing to discuss with myself and Esther ahead of next week, Wednesday. We'll merge and make up the remaining parties in the stimulation and make the presentation on Wednesday,
Okay.
if that's okay with you people.
I think that is fine. That's fine. So, Amanda, do you understand the stages and the relevant parties involved in an arbitration proceeding?
Yes, I do.
Okay, will you mind sharing with us so that um at least if we have any other question or anybody has any question you can ask, then we can have some guidance against next week.
No problem, sir. Okay, good evening, everyone.
Evening.
From my understanding of arbitration and the parties involved in the process, from the stimulation that was prepared for each group, we'll be having we had 5 members, if I'll put it that way, an arbitrator who is appointed to perceive or yes, to see over the dispute between the two disputed parties, the claimant and the respondent, or the claimant and defendant, however it will be. And then we have their legal representatives. That's my little understanding on it.
Okay. Does any other person want to add something? Perpetual.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in addition to Amanda, she spoke about the arbitrator, the parties. There's also the arbitral award, which is binding. And then in the arbitration agreement, you state what language the arbitration should be in, where the seat of the arbitration will be, and other rules that guide the arbitration process. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Esther, would you want to say something? What?
Yeah, when what has been said, when I compare arbitration and other ADR, one could design that arbitration seems to be more more formal, more like the court-like system because of the arbitral award that is binding. Unlike mediation, where the parties may decide even after mediation to go to court if mediation fails.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for all of you. I appreciated your interest and your contributions. Is it possible for you to put on your cameras? Can you all put on your cameras? Can we all put on our cameras?
Please, can we comply and put on our cameras if we can?
Okay, so now you see, I would love to see a situation where having indicated interest to run for to join this arbitration ABR mentorship. When you are living here, you should live better than you should live you should live here better than you came, right? So when you want to commence an arbitration, you want to do an arbitration, you must understand certain things. Omotayo, thank you very much for joining. We're happy to have you. Thank you. Now, you see, first, when you are going for when you are going for arbitration, what you need to do first, where a dispute has arisen, right? Before you come for the hearing, there are things you need to do, which you should take note. Now, upon the occurrence or when the dispute has occurred, and you already have a dispute resolution clause in uh, your agreement, what you do is you are going to issue a notice of arbitration to commence the arbitration. Okay, okay. Okay. So to commence an arbitration, you issue notice of arbitration, and according to the act, the moment you issue that notice of arbitration, it is assumed that arbitration has commenced. Now, what is the notice of arbitration? You issue a notice of arbitration. It's simply notifying the other party that the dispute has arisen based on our agreement. And since the dispute has arisen, we want to go for an arbitration based on what we have agreed. So simply, you are going to write your name, a brief history of the dispute, of the agreement between the parties, and then the dispute that has arisen. Okay, I say you should supply me 5 bags of cement, and I have paid 70%, but after paying 70%, you have not supplied me for me to pay the balance. That is the dispute, and you have that agreement. So when you are issuing a notice of arbitration, you state the names of the parties, just like you see a normal process. You state the names of the parties are there, and then after the names of the parties, you have this little introduction about the agreement between the parties, and that these are the agreement. This is what the parties have agreed to do. That's the contract. You make reference to the contract, and then the arbitration clause or the arbitration agreement, and that you now state that, okay, there is a violation or there is a breach of that agreement which gives rise to. And then if there are other conditions that are set for you to, you know, like a condition precedent for you before you can initiate an action, it simply means that when they say, okay, if a dispute occur, we will first attempt to settle via negotiation between us. And if it fails, then we can now go for mediation. Then after, if mediation fails, we can now go for arbitration. you ensure that all the condition precedents are stated. So you state in your notice that yes, a dispute has arisen. I've approached the other party. I've written that we should meet and settle, and then did not respond. And after so period of time has elapsed, I have also taken steps to initiate mediation, and it has failed. And now I have to initiate an arbitration proceedings. We have stated all of those things. Then one of the things you need to do in the notice of arbitration is to propose an arbitrator. So you say, for example, I am proposing that Nanchang Nangwang be appointed as the arbitrator. Why am I proposing that he should be appointed? Because I feel he has the requisite qualification he attached in his profile. You know, you okay, see attach, you attach the profile of myself, that's attach my profile, say, okay, uh and here is his brief profile, you know, and then you give a time. If you don't agree with the proposal, if you accept, fine, but if you don't accept, please respond to the proposed appointment of the arbitrator within the period of 7 days or 2 weeks when you receive the notice of arbitration. Failure to do that will assume that you have accepted, right? So once you have indicated these things in your notice of arbitration, also state your claim. This is what we are claiming. Refund our money. We have expended so amount of money. We are asking for damages also, and all of those things. State it in your notice of arbitration. Appoint your own arbitrator on your other side. If you have one arbitrator, you propose the appointment of Nanchang Nangwang as the sole arbitrator. But if your agreement says a panel of arbitrators, it means you have to appoint one person, then one arbitrator. Party B will appoint one arbitrator, then the two parties will now appoint the third arbitrator. Are we together? Are we
Yes, sir.
together?
Yes, sir.
All right. So once that is done, you wait for 2 weeks after you have served and have proved that you have served the notice of arbitration on the other party. After 2 weeks, the arbitrator that is so appointed is going to now accept the appointment. After accepting the appointment, is going to accompany that acceptance with a letter of no interest, stating that he does not have any interest in the outcome, he does not know the parties, and he has nothing to do with the parties. You are stating clearly that you don't have any connection. Now, once that is done, then the first thing the arbitrator will do is to call for the first uh, conference. You can call it preliminary meeting. Now, once you have been appointed and you have accepted it by the party, now you are going to issue notices to the two parties, calling them for a preliminary meeting. At the preliminary meeting, if everybody comes, that's the first important meeting that you are supposed to have. And so when you at that particular meeting, what you need to do is you discuss very important and crucial matters that pertains to the agreement. So if both parties are present, you are going to now propose the appointment of a secretary. So the moment they come, one of the items you raise is the fact that you have been appointed and I have also appointed a secretary. You have a secretary for the admin office, the secretary of the tribunal or an registrar. You have the registrar and the secretary of the tribunal. So you propose the appointment of, let's say, I propose the appointment of Perpetual as the registrar and Amanda as the secretary of the tribunal. or if both of them, if one person will serve in that capacity, I say, okay, I propose the appointment of Perpetual as the secretary. This is the profile of Perpetual. And then, because you are the one that is going to conduct the arbitration proceeding, you know who best. So, but that is also subject to the agreement of the parties. That's the parties before you. So, you are going to present. So, you are going to present uh, the person you are proposing, Amanda, Perpetual, for example. This is who I'm proposing. This is her qualification. Oh, she has been trained and certified as an arbitrator with Settlement House Area Training Institute. Uh, she has been serving in this capacity for a period of time. She's a young and then she's coming up and all of those things. Then when the parties agree, then you are going to discuss arbitrator's fee. Arbitrators fee, one of the agenda for discussion, and then for a guidance, if it is institutional arbitration, it means that it is conducted under Settlement House Area Training Institute. Settlement House will have its own rules and regulations. It will have its own procedures. It has its own arbitration rules. It has its own scale of charges and fees. But if it is ad hoc is that they are not that arbitration is not going to be administered by a particular institution. So if it is not going to be administered by a particular institution, so it is called ad hoc. You can adopt the rules of any other arbitral institution, but they are not administering it. So you are going to now agree on the fee. If it is ad hoc, you negotiate the fee. If it is institutional, the institution already have its own scale of charges. Are we together to this point? Give me a thumbs up, tick, so that I will know we are together. I want you to understand the stages so that it will guide you when you prepare. Is that okay? If you are with me, give me a thumbs up or open up your mic and speak.
We are with you. I'm with you, sir.
All right. So now, when you agree on the fee, let's say the recovery is about 100,000 and then you are charging like 5% of that amount as your fee as a mediator, as an arbitrator. Remember that the fees are going to be shared equally. They are going to be paid equally. So no matter the amount that is agreed, parties will share it. Now you are also going to discuss the registrar's fee. That's administrative charges. Are you going to be having, where are you going to be having this meeting? Are you going to be renting a hotel? Are you going to be coming from your house? Are you going to be having lunch? Are you going to be having dinner? Are you going to be sitting from morning till night for 5 days until you exhaust and settle the matter? All these things are things that you're going to be discussing at the preliminary meeting. So that also will determine the administrative charges. So where is the venue? The venue is different from the seat. It has to do with the laws applicable. The venue is the physical, so you can apply the laws of Kaduna State, for example, even when you are sitting in London, meaning that if there is any issue or dispute, you'll be guided by what the law of Kaduna is saying concerning the issues and matters before you. So that's very, very important for you to know. So you are going to be discussing where is the venue. You are going to be discussing administrative charges. You are going to be discussing how long is the arbitration going to take. Are you going to be doing consistently? You sit until you finish, or you are going to be taking a break. Maybe you sit today and then adjourn the matter to another 1 month or 2 months, or that you are going to adjourn to 3 days. Are you going to be camping or staying in a hotel to address this issue from beginning to the end? Do you need an expert? Do you need the services of an expert? when you discuss some of these issues, what is the rule? If you have not stated, what language is it going to be? Do you need an interpreter? You know, then the language. The language of the arbitration, right? You're going to agree on it. Aha. Then when you discuss some of these important issues around it, then you come to the processes. Now, when are you going to file your processes? Just like your point of claim, your point of defense, you ask the claimant, when are you going to file? They say, I need 2 weeks or I need 1 month to file my point of claim. Then the defendant will say, no, I need 2 weeks after filing a point of claim to file my point of defense. And if I have a counter claim, I'm going to file it. Then by the time you do all of those things, you discuss it and you are all agree. Then which type of arbitration are you going to conduct? Is it a document only arbitration? Is it the one that you're going to go into hearing? Then you call witnesses, you do cross-examination. These are the things that you are going to be discussing and agreeing upon. Then after the point of claim and point of defense, when all of these things have been submitted, at the close of the matter, when everybody has presented, has been cross-examined, are you going to have a final address? Is it going to be written? Are the counsels going to have a final address written, or they will address the arbitrator orally? Remember that the rules of evidence does not strictly apply to arbitration. So although it has similar procedures, it has similar, the things are similar, but technicalities and the rules of evidence does not apply to the processes. So by the time you discuss all of these things, including any other matter that you think needs to be addressed, now one of the issues that will come, do you need a preliminary, an emergency order, maybe to save something that is perishing? You need, is there any emergency that needs to be addressed? These are some of the things that you'll be looking at. These are some of the things you'll be considering. If there are perishable goods involved, and then there is need for an order to sell it off so that the money will be kept, will there be a need for an order, to freeze a particular account, pending hearing? Somebody is running away, out of the jurisdiction, and all of those things. All these issues will be tabled, at your first preliminary meeting. Now, when you finish discussing all of these things and you agreed upon, now at the close of that meeting, the registrar who is there, the reason why you are coming with the registrar to the meeting is because the moment they approve, the registrar, the secretary starts his function immediately. The registrar is going to take record of the proceedings, is going to record it, and he's going to transcribe that record. Are we together? You transcribe the record words by word, ensure that you have what is in the audio matches. So you are going to be taking note, you are going to be recording, so that anywhere you miss out, you are going to listen to the audio to ensure that you have a comprehensive note. Some people have gone advanced such that they have machines or devices that can be able to record and transcribe for them. But at the end of every sitting, you are supposed to prepare these notes. One of the things you need to agree is address for service. Which type of service? How are you going to serve? Is it by email? Is it by physical service to a particular address? What will be the sufficient evidence of service on the other party? Because unlike mediation that, parties' willingness is needed, in arbitration, where you are supposed to do something and you refuse to do it, where you are supposed to appear and you don't appear, nobody forces you. All that the arbitrator needs to do is to ensure that you have been notified, and then at the discretion of the arbitrator, If he decides that you are not around, he decides to adjourn it to another time, fine and good. But if he takes one, two, three adjournments, he can decide to proceed. Some arbitrators can proceed immediately the day you agree that you are going to proceed and you are not there. So whether you come or you don't come, as long as there is service on a particular party, whether it's the claimant or the respondent, arbitration continues. And if you don't attend the arbitration at all, an award can be delivered against an award can be delivered, at the end of the arbitration. So, but you should take note for the fact that a party does not attend does not mean that just like court of law, then you will grant all the prayers uh, of the party or the claimant before the court because the other party has been served, it did not do anything. No, in arbitration, it's not like that. Arbitration, you look at the merit of the matter before you. If they have filed their defense, you look at. If they have not filed, you look at the matter and then you give a just decision. So, what I need you to note is the fact that for the fact that a party has refused to appear or come for the arbitration and the arbitration proceed does not mean that judgment must be made against him. You have to look at the facts and the circumstances and apply them to the law. Apply them to the circumstances of that dispute, and then you can now do the needful. So I'm saying this because you need to take note. So now, when you agree on address for service, all of those things, now you adjourn that preliminary meeting for hearing. But you may want to adjourn it for another pre-hearing meeting. You can decide to adjourn it for a pre-hearing meeting. At that pre-hearing meeting, before the pre-hearing meeting, when you adjourn it, and then all those evidence, anything you discuss and agreed upon are properly made, the arbitrator does something. He will issue what is called a preliminary order, and that has to do with the summary of what transpired and the decision that was reached by the parties in the preliminary meeting. So the summation of all of those things will be stated, yes, this is what we have discussed. You have the summary, and this is the decisions that were reached. Arbitrator is going to be paid 5,000 naira. Registrar is going to be paid 2,000 naira. And this amount of money should be paid on or before so period of time, and parties are supposed to file their point of claim and defense or counterclaim within the period of you have 1 month, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 weeks, so you calculate it all. That's about 1 month or 2 months plus. You adjourn it for pre-hearing meeting. At the pre-hearing meeting, after the issuance of the preliminary order, the order for direction, actually from the arbitrator, order of direction, it clearly states the summary of the preliminary meeting and the decision that is made. Then it will become an order of direction by the arbitrator. So when you issue that order of direction, all of those things will be served on each party. Then each party is supposed to now present each party is now supposed to file his processes, pay what he's supposed to pay as agreed. Now, that pre-hearing meeting, you're supposed to come, the arbitrator comes to the parties to now do a kind of check-in. Yes, we agree that you are going to be paying so amount of money. Have you paid? Yes, we have paid. With the registry, you are supposed to file your points of defense. Have you points of claim? Have you filed? Yes, I have filed. Point of defense, yes, I have filed with the registry. All of those things. When you do all the checklist and everything is okay, you now adjourn from that meeting to for hearing. So the essence of that hearing meeting is for you to be able to pre-hearing conference or preliminary conference, depending on what you want to call it. When you confirm that everything is in order, then you can now proceed for hearing. At the hearing, the procedure for hearing is similar to what we have in the court. Now, the registrar who is appointed is going to affirm the witness. So when you come, the counsels introduce themselves. They said, my name is so Nancha Nangwang. I am going to be counsel. I am the counsel for party A, and my party is also here. For the purpose of this arbitration, you can address me as Nanchang or Mr. Nanchang. Then the representative of the company or the party will also introduce himself. My client is here. The client would tell the arbitrator what is his name and all of those things. So also the arbitrator introduces himself. If it's a panel, they introduce themselves, and then everybody introduce himself, how he's going to be addressed, and after all of those things, you go straight into the hearing. At the hearing, what happens is the claimant goes there, he swears to affirm, the registrar swears him or affirm him, and after that, he has his own evidence already, which has been forwarded ahead of time with all the documents. So if it is, there are statements on oath, there are exhibits and all of those things that are made, you are going to adopt them. If you adopt them, you point particular paragraphs where certain documents are mentioned. You draw the attention of the arbitrator and say all of those have been served, on the other party. So when they finish, you present your case and your matter. Then the lawyer from this party B will cross-examine the witness for party A. Ask him questions, and after asking the question, if there is no further question, yes, this one is discharged. If you have another witness, fine. If you don't have, fine. Then the arbitrator also can ask questions for clarification and all of those things. So I will not say, no, you cannot ask questions, you are descending into the arena and all of those. The arbitrator is going to be taking a decision, and he will be seeking clarification. He'll be asking questions where there is need for him to ask questions and understand certain things. He will ask you. So don't take that. That's why we say the rules of evidence does not stricto sensu apply to arbitration, though they look similar. So all this technicality, objection, this document is not in a form admissible. They have not laid proper foundation and all of those things. Omotayo, you don't do those kind of things in arbitration. So we need to take note of that. So then, when that is done, party B also testify his cross-exam. If that is done, if you agree that you are going to do it, if you want to adjourn the matter for parties to file it in addresses, fine. If not, if it is oral address, what you do in oral address is the same thing you do for final addresses, before the court. What you do is you are asking whether your client has established his case for him to be entitled to an award in his favor. You say, yes, he has established there is a contract. Yes, the contract was breached. Yes, party B was the one who breached it. Yes, and then because of the breach, damage, expenses was incurred by our client, because of that, and so we are claiming so. If you have a law that supports what you are saying, you cite it also and draw the arbitrator's attention to important issues and matters. Now, even though it is not a court, the arbitrator will not give a ruling or decision against the law that is existing in a particular state, especially the seat of the arbitration. So, for example, if something is considered illegal and the arbitrator, because it's a private way of settling dispute, decides to now give an award in respect to something that is considered contrary to public policy, that award will be set aside. So we need to take note. So if you have laws, that will guide them. For example, do we have a Muslim person here? Hawa, are you with us? Hawa, thank you,
I'm
Mister,
here.
for joining us. Yes, so Hawa, yes, I'm trying to ask you. You see, for example, if you are doing an Islamic arbitration, for example, and then you see that you are doing an arbitration where you discover that maybe the parties or the environment or the seat of arbitration has Islamic connotation, is a place where Islam is uh, the religion and all of those things. There are certain things you need to take note, because in Islam, for example, they are against interest and profit. So sometimes you see some application, they want you to grant, like in court, we ask, they say 10% interest on judgment and whatsoever. Now you see, if the law is Islamic or is Sharia law, and it does not agree with the issue of interest, and then as an arbitrator, you now went to award interest, so you see that that award you have made on interest is not against the public policy or against an existing law, Sharia law, for example. So you see, based on that, that arbitration will be set aside. That award will be set aside because it's made either contrary to law or contrary to public policy. So when you finish your presentation, your final addresses, what you do is to draw the attention. They said written addresses usually does not substitute the place of evidence. That's what we learned as lawyers. That no matter how wonderfully crafted your written address is, it is not going to replace or substitute the place of evidence that was taken before the court, especially the one that is given by the parties. So what you do is just you want the arbitrator to be able to see what you are trying to help him see. So that's why you are identifying issues, you are pointing at the laws that said this and that, you are citing authorities or judicial cases that says this and that. That is what you are doing. At the end of that session, the arbitration has come to an end, then the matter will be adjourned for the award by the arbitrator. So when the award is, before the publishing the award, you want to confirm, have as all the you confirm from the registry, have they paid all our money? You know, is everything set? Every ground is cleared and leveled, and all of those. If it is, then matter is adjourned. The arbitrator say you need 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I'm going to finish, and then he will finish and publish his award. And once he publish the award, by sending it to the parties concerned, that is the end of the matter. And that award can be registered before a court within the jurisdiction, or you go to any state with the new laws, New York Convention, and all of those states that are signatories. You want to go to Cameroon, where MISPA, or you want to go to uh, some of these other African countries to go and execute it, say, this person has property there, I want to go. So you follow the procedure to get your judgment registered, if it is you want to execute it internationally also, and then you can now execute it when it is to your own favor. So that is the processes and the procedure, so to say. Miss Pa, Omotayo, I don't know whether you have something to say. They are supposed to present a practical, but some of the persons were not prepared for the session, were not available, so it crippled the time. So what I did was to give them a breakdown from inception of where a dispute occur and where there is an arbitration agreement to the point where an award is given, so that it can serve as a guide for them as they prepare against next week, for them to present their do a proper presentation. So we expect to have a proper um, a good and proper, well-arranged arbitration session by next week, God willing. So,
Well, good evening,
one
everyone.
more
Thank you,
time again.
Nacha. Thank you. Indeed, you've actually been doing a good job by giving them all these basics. I think the candidates or the participants, the mentees, they should be more committed than we do. We are very busy people. You see, I just cut another meeting to join you guys, and I have another meeting starting at 9 p.m. Cameroon time. You know, it is not good when we come and then we don't find them. You know, we are creating this precious time to see how we can carry them along. And a lot of people, they used to say that, oh, young people are crying, they want mentorship, and then they don't bring any clear plan for what they want from mentors and so on. And people are busy. There is something I don't know if you know about the 5 A's that you can help you succeed in your career generally. Availability is one of them. Time to your job. How much time do they really create? Because I see most of time, the staff are present with us, the mentors. You don't see the mentees. So I don't know what you are doing at your end, Nacha, at the level of settlement house to see that these mentees get committed. It's not enough for us to light our cameras, join, and then they are not there. And the joy of mentorship comes when you have committed mentees, you see the result. It's not something we'll come and be talking, and then people are not there to listen or to take the advice or the mentorship skills we are impacting them to implement. I think you need to work on that seriously with them, because the last session and this session, the now outcome or attendance have not been very positive. You should also look at that when maybe people should sign an engagement to commit as mentee or on a mentorship program, so that you know that your logistics are not wasted. The time you're a busy person as well, the time you use to do something, but you know, thought leadership is successful and enjoyable when you have the people who really are in need in front of you to listen to that. So I think maybe we need to do some more in-house cleaning, some organization. How many mentees do we have on this program? If we know we have just 2 mentees, or we have just 3 mentees, or 5 mentees, or 10 mentees, we should be able to know. And then also they can guarantee their presence, their attendance. It motivates us, the mentors, as well. Because when people come behind they are behind their cameras, you don't know whether you are even talking to people. You don't know whether you are talking to yourself. You can save yourself the strength and the energy, you know, rather than talking where you don't know whether people are there even listening to you, or they have just connected their cameras and they are doing some other things, you know. So please, let's look at those things very well so that our next session next week will be well attended and well listened to by those who are actually the mentees. And then even ourselves around the mentors, when we share some of these discussions, we learn from each other. But the motivation will be there that you actually have people who want to really acquire the knowledge and the skills that they need for their own practice. I think that's just what I can say for, because I've been looking at the participants list. I see mostly it's just us. I'm asking myself, where are the mentees? Since you've been talking, and we don't even know if they are actually listening to us. I think I see just like 2 mentees here, or 1 even. Are they even listening to us? We have to check all those things when we are using these online stuff. Okay, so that's my contribution for today. Thank you, guys. Hi, Omotola. Omat is Omat. Sorry, I'm pronouncing your name wrongly.
Omotayo.
Omotayo, yes.
No, it's fine. It's fine, Omotayo.
I don't know if you agree with
Thank
me
you
what
very
I'm
much.
saying, you know?
Yes, very key, very key. It has to be encouraging. Yes, it's very key. I'm sure they will work on it. It's just that few have actually been consistent. So we just hope that they will see the importance of this session, because it's all about practice, and that is how one can actually learn. It's not about what we read, but when we bring it to life, then we can do better. So it's
Exactly.
it's well captured. Well done.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So, very, very important. Thank you, Miss Pa, for raising it. I started with some talks towards that direction. I had to be rushing, just as she said. Some of us are actually very busy. Aside from running a law firm, I'm the executive director of Settlement House Idea Training Institute. So
Mhm.
most times, every activity or program that involves that, I have to be there. That's on one side. Under Settlement House, we are running professional diploma in education, and we are also running a Nigerian certificate in education for those undergraduate and postgraduate. So,
Mhm.
and all of it. So, when we create time for mentees, it's actually because we are committed. I tell you, it's going to cost you a lot of money to have a consultation session of this nature where you are open to ask questions. I expect that mentees will go and make research,
Oh,
some of the
yes.
things they don't understand. When
Exactly.
you see when I was attending my arbitration training, I ask questions until the facilitators will know that they are actually training a, someone.
A
I ask
very
want to
inspirational
understand,
person. Oh, yes.
or maybe because I paid for it, but I also attend mentorship programs. I did, and then when I do, I
Till
give my
now,
time to
till
it.
now,
I
I
spend
still
the
do.
same
I am
thing.
on a Young ICAS mentorship program. Till now, we still do mentorship. Even now,
See?
we still do
So,
mentorship.
you need to actually take some of these things serious. I tell you, if you want to do associate training with CI app or arbitration, you know how much it's going to cost you in
Mhm.
dollars, you know,
Mhm.
not to not to even talk of, ADR trainings now, in fact, institutions have raised the bar, have raised the training. So we are saying that for those who are committed here, by the time we start doing our arbitration certification training under settlement house, or when our training is coming in mediation, you can join, and that will give you a soft, landing. So please, I'll play with you once more. Please try as much as you could. I can only see that some of us were when we are assigned to mentors, the mentors are not available. We are the ones chasing after them and looking out for the opportunity of getting them to ask one or two questions. So please, don't allow your mentees to be chasing you. We are trying to encourage you. You can do it. Try, and it's for your benefit, actually. So please, I beg you, try, try, and then make something valuable out of the mentorship. And then I pray that all of you will actually enroll for the certification training proper, so that you get to understand this thing is an opportunity for you to ask questions, to give you guidance. Which area do I want to go into? Do I want to go for mediation? Want to go for arbitration? At least you have a general knowledge and understanding. That's why we allow you to do your research, make your presentations, and then afterwards, we are open for you to ask several questions. Some of the things you can go researching, asking questions, you can just be answering in a matter of the twinkling of an eye. Because one way or the other, some of us possibly may have come across it and we may know how to go about it. I wish I had this kind of opportunity. I believe that Hawaii is listening to us, perpetual Esther, and then you pass it across to your friends. Without saying more, I think this is a convenient time to stop here, hoping that you have listened to what all the mentors have said, that you put it into practice. We want to see that next week the house is full, and then after your presentation, you should be open to ask questions, clarify doubts, you know, and that will go a long way. It will go a long way. We'll be happy to answer your question. Very happy to do so. You know. So thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you
Dennis,
very much.
over to you.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for everything that you've shared. Thank you for helping to manage the class. And also a big thank you to the other mentors that were called Miss Mispa and also Miss Omotayo. We sincerely apologize for the turnout and the participation so far. We will try to work on getting our mentees to be more to contribute more, to participate more within the program. We normally do send reminders as early on before the time for classes so that it's to know that class is ongoing or class.
Dennis, your voice is faint.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So I was saying that we do get to send reminders to the mentees, and for those we can privately, personally reach out to, we do also reach out to them to get them on board. But we will try to work on that more extensively ahead of the coming week so that we have more people participate in the program. Once again, a big thank you to Settlement House ADR for everything that they have done for us in collaboration with JIIPCC to bring this mentorship to us. It has been such an interesting and a thought inciting and thought-provoking engagement since week one. So we've come to the end of today. I will do well to notify the mentees about the session for next week and everything that we have planned, including merging the members of Group 1 and Group 2 to have presentation in the session next week. So thank you everyone for being
So they need to take note of the provision of registrar, because after the session they are going to provide the recording, like they will translate. I know you share with them the recording, live recording, so that they can follow to ensure that whatsoever that happened, they are going to present a transcript of what transpired during their sessions. We want them to have a formal. Let us have, if they have a meeting and they agree on something in their preliminary meeting, let us have it. Let us know that they have gone through it. Let it be that you have at least a test of what an arbitration looks like. That will be greatly appreciated.
noted. We'll be sending notifications to them in that respect and in that regards. So just to close the session, once again, a big thank you to everyone that has stayed to this time. We look forward to seeing you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Motayo. Thank you,
Okay,
Miss
thank you
Pa.
guys. See you next week.
Yeah, good night and bye bye
Thank
everyone.
Good night.
You, Mr. Nacha, Miss
Good night,
Hanifa.
dear.
Thank you, everybody.